Hello and welcome again. I'm Catherine Young, and this is our channel, Our Courage to Heal podcast. Before we begin, let me just say this. I'm not a professional healer and I cannot diagnose. I'm just another person who has been wounded but guided to receive healing. And now I'm here to share my story with you so that hopefully you too can find your courage to heal and stay on the healing journey. Now, let's begin. In this chapter, I share my fear of starting a new project like this podcast and how I took baby steps to dabble in it. Many times in life, I experienced a failed experiment like a product or a business venture. Although it happened like just the day of it, often it haunts me many times after. In fact, no matter how many times I experienced success and even sold out designs, the same fear strikes each time I launch something new. In this episode, I want to share my deepest fear, which almost hindered the start of this podcast, and how I still have those fears but continue to launch anyway. We may or may not be able to overcome some experiences completely yet, but we can definitely still proceed with our dreams courageously. So, let's begin. Book 2, The Healing, Chapter 6, Having the Courage to Start This Podcast. I'm always fascinated about the profound findings I got after a milestone in healing. It's like a revelation coming from a place I couldn't quite identify where. I felt an urge to test these concepts. Sometimes I experiment them with my close friends and family to see if it will give them another perspective to shift their gears. And they often do, and come back with an even more fascinating perspective. After coming back from this most epic, heartbreaking experience, I felt this determination to share my learnings. I want to document and share them in a way that my beautiful girl can access easily through my voice when she grows up. But I was scared. I felt that my paper qualifications were inadequate in so many ways. The only reason I decided to try is because my friend told me that many people would love to hear from me and be comforted in their journey. That comment lingered around for some time, and I sat on the fence for an even longer time. Initially, I started, but I couldn't find the words. So I turned to designing. I designed concepts of liberation, beauty in chaos, living wild and raw like a lion in my clothing. And slowly, the words descended from above. I wrote an episode, then 2. As I write, more designs came up, and as I designed, more episodes were written. It was like an outpour of creativity just coming from a creative genius from the universe through me. But I didn't have the courage to start this podcast. I would write like 5 episodes and then go into hiding again. And the next few episodes and hiding again. Mostly, I think people would laugh at my language skills and my voice. The 2 most ridiculed areas growing up, other than my hair. Eventually, fear got the better of me and I went to my healer. I lost my way. I couldn't write anymore. I could write, but I wasn't going to. So I stopped. I needed to heal this fear. I asked my healer what would happen if the listeners hate my voice and my English. I can talk, but grammar and all, I can't make sense out of them sometimes. She asked me, what happens when the sky falls? Huh? I don't know. Why did you ask me? Exactly. She replied in a sexy, stylish English accent, which I can try, but I could not imitate. She told me that my people will come to me, and people come from all cultures. no one is looking at my grammar. I loved my time with her because she always gave me enough guidance, then leave me space and time to amass my learnings and growth. I gave myself some time. The thought of studying this Our Courage to Heal podcast felt scary, but the thought of not studying felt like a letdown. I realized that this self-thought fear is how I often stop my dreams. I would pursue it with so much rigor and passion, then out of the blue, the fear of rejection, fear of failure just hit. And that's how some of my designs didn't even make it to launch. That deep wound from rejection, abandonment, ridicule just show up and put a stop to everything. If I was lucky, it just slowed me down. But sometimes it handicapped me and crippled my will to keep dreaming. And I fell back to what is sensible and secure, whatever that is familiar, even if it's pain and longing. But living is not meant to be like that. Living is feeling the pulse of passion and excitement when we pursue a path that's so intoxicating, mesmerizing, and alluring that no matter what challenges arise, we will feel so much love, commitment, and passion that we will not turn away. Our heart will know to keep going through the mud to find our lotus moment. We know that each challenge is a moment for growth and strength to better ready us for the next height this journey will bring, bringing us to fulfill the deepest longings of our soul and finding liberation along the way. And just like that, I want to be brave to keep going, packing fear into the side pocket every time it showed up. And I kept writing, designing, and trying. Because I wasn't willing to live a life without reaching my dreams. I may fall, but I will get up, dust away, and then go again and again and again. I now know that the more I break the habit of self-doubt, the more I can progress gracefully to fulfill my life purposes. I need to acknowledge my goodness and talent and do what I love to the best of my ability. I need to accept that I am enough and my art is enough to serve humanity. I need to accept my wounded beliefs about my self-worth and be willing to sit comfortably with them in the same room while fulfilling my life purposes. I accept it and thank the experience that led me to this learning and keep going towards my intuition and guidance. Every time my self-doubt takes the front seat, I just need to focus on what's bigger than myself and what's the best way to serve. To fulfill my soul purpose, to encourage us to receive healing and be free from our stuck position. I want to show you the way out, to share with you that you have always been your destined healer. Knowing that this is for the greater good, I lean towards my courage to serve and carry it on. We must learn how to live fully in the now to make our dreams come true. Time and space are but a dream. Our past can never hurt us as much or more than we make it to be. There may be emotions attached to those memories, but we can overcome this. When fear visits, we can bring our focus back to now and remind ourselves that that's the past. Connect within and work on releasing the baggage. That's our ticket to dreaming freely to creativity. We can always work on a new reality and rewrite our script. But first, we need to work on our mind, the script we give our mind. Give ourselves the chance to live our lives the way we dream of it. Dear one, healing takes many forms and emotions. Sometimes fear visits. Sometimes liberation comes. Sometimes creativity lands. Whichever way, the fleeting moment never lasts. For in that exact moment we learn something, we have evolved. A moment spent in self-doubt is a moment too long away from self-love. Close your eyes if it gets too much. Step away and do what you enjoy. From having an ice cream, a boba tea, a walk in nature, to binge watching YouTube, Netflix, whatever it is. Step away from fear and give yourself lots of tender, loving care. Whenever you are ready to connect with your heart, yourself, and your mind, do so slowly and gently with ease and grace. Tune in, and you'll find your guiding post again. This life experience is meant to be filled with opportunities only if you are willing. And so, this podcast is born. With fear and courage, with love and compassion, with worries and hope. They can exist together and we can still win. Let's take a moment and stand still and feel the universal power and love from within. Let it show you the way to healing, to fulfilling your life purpose. I will be rooting for you.